Divorce is a word heavy with societal stigma. It is a status that can be very uncool. The divorced woman is viewed as a failure. Most of her friends desert her as she has automatically become a threat to their matrimonial homes. Her parents are disappointed in her because she has caused them shame in the eyes of the society. The society look at her as a loser as she was not able to endure what almost every woman is going through. And the men look at her as an easy target since there's no need to be cautious with her as the damage has already been done. The whispers and sideway glances can be deafening, leading to a sense of isolation that permeates her daily life. Not many people see the struggle the divorced lady goes through. This lady who had to leave the home she tried so hard to make comfortable for herself and her family. This woman whose dream just got shattered, the dream of having a loving, intact family. This woman who would have to face the day-to-day challenges of navigating a life without a spouse, of making decisions and bearing the responsibilities of her children alone, and struggling with the emotional pain of losing someone she once loved deeply. This lady who now has the responsibility of running the house alone or going back to sharing a room with her sisters after once being the madam of the house. But Allah is Al-Hakim, the most wise, and He has a reason for everything, dear divorce sister. And here are a few reminders to help you navigate this stage of yours successfully. Number 1, understand divorce isn't a sin. Therefore, do not beat yourself over it. Have we ever stopped to think why Islam tolerates divorce? It has been there since time immemorial, and that is why Allah Al-Latif, the most gentle and subtle, revealed a whole chapter in the Quran on it. Granted, divorce is not something that anyone would wish for themselves. No one goes into marriage wanting it to end. The Prophet ﷺ has told us, أَبْغَضُ الْحَلَالِ إِلَى اللَّهِ الطَّلَاقِ. The most hateful of lawful matters to Allah is divorce, and so we try our best and see that we do what it takes to remain in the marriage. But sometimes, for whatever reason, the marriage might cease to work and divorce might be the only option. I read somewhere, and I quote, "Even though we all agree that divorce is hateful and ugly, sometimes it is a necessity that cannot be avoided. For instance, surgical removal of parts of the body is painful and abhorrent, but it is crucial in certain conditions and is to the benefit of humans, such as when a person has cancer. If enduring the marriage is torturous and unendurable for the husband and wife, and the problem cannot be solved in any way, divorce may be the best and only solution." Number 2, know that Allah tested the best of people with divorce. In the life of the best of people, the Sabiqun as-Sabiqun, there were cases of divorce. Our Prophet ﷺ married divorced women. His wife Hafsa, the daughter of Umar ibn Khattab, one of his close companions, was married previously before he married her. They had a loving relationship, and he too on one occasion divorced her, and they reconciled afterwards. This instance reflects the human dynamics and challenges within marriage, even in the household of the Prophet ﷺ. Then there is the famous story of Zainab bint Jahsh, who was married to the Prophet's adopted son and a freed slave, Zayd ibn Harith. Because of their different social status, the marriage was strained from the very beginning and was far from peaceful. Zayd was disappointed in his marriage and complained to the Prophet ﷺ that their marriage was incompatible, to which the Prophet advised him, and it is quoted in the Quran, "Keep your wife to yourself and fear Allah." But in spite of all the best efforts, the marriage did not work out, and finally he divorced Zainab. The Prophet ﷺ later married her as instructed by Allah. Number 3, become an even better you. Use your iddah period to heal, reflect, and think of ways you can be better. If you were divorced due to failure on your part, Allah has given you a chance to be better. Make lots of istighfar and work on yourself. Go back to Islamic school and study hard. Cover yourself properly and be decent at all times. Be cautious and do not allow the people to have anything negative to say about you. Smile and hold your head high because you lost your virginity through marriage. Praise, sister, that Allah gives you better than what you lost. Have yaqeen that your next would be much better, inshallah. And if you were wronged, then don't even lose sleep. We all know how Allah loves and answers the prayers of the madhloom, the one who has been wronged. Number 4, tread the path of your next marriage carefully. Do not allow desperation to make you fall into the wrong arms. Do your research thoroughly. Read, discuss, and look out for all the red flags. Attend premarital courses. The beautiful thing about being a divorced lady is that you now have more experience and your voice is heard. The Prophet ﷺ has told us, لا تنكه الثيب حتى تستأمر, meaning a previously married woman cannot be given in marriage except after consulting her and taking her permission. Number 5, remember the good times. I know we might not want to hear this after he has kicked us out and left us penniless, but this helps our heart not to hold a lot of bitterness, and we won't have the urge to say bad about him, thereby taking his sins away. I learned this from my sister, who after a terrible divorce would still never speak negatively about her ex. In Surah Baqarah, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about divorce, he adds, وَلَا تَنْسَوُا الْفَضْلَ بَيْنَكُمْ, meaning, and do not forget kindness among yourselves. Even for the sake of your children, you don't want them to grow up hating their father. And so, this is for all the divorced ladies out there, and I say to you, you are not alone. You are not a loser. Allah has seen the sacrifices you made. Your status has been carried by even the best women from the best generation, and we have seen how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala compensated them. So remember to keep making the dua the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught Salama to make when she lost her husband. Inna lillahi wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Allahumma ajirni fi musibati wa akhlif li khayrun minha. Meaning, indeed, we belong to Allah and to Him we shall return. O Allah, reward me for my affliction and give me something better than it in exchange for it. And we ask Allah to make it easy for our sisters out there to heal their hearts and to compensate them for their loss.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If you have benefited from this video, kindly share and subscribe to the YouTube channel The DeensisterS. You can also support the organization by getting yourself or a loved one something nice from our charity shop at bit.ly/ds_shop. May Allah reward you as you do so.